Hi you guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Charlotte. Thank you so much for being here with me today. If you're new, hello and welcome. I make lots of videos on beauty and fragrance, mostly fragrance. Today we are going to be going through two very popular fragrances by the private line from Dior, Fève Délicieuse and Vanilla Diorama. Both of these are not cheap. Both of these are not affordable. I wanted to know which one was the better one, especially since I've seen in a lot of reviews. I haven't watched any reviews, but read reviews that a lot of people found them to be quite similar and there are quite differing opinions on them. I wanted to know for myself, so I did order some decants and I've been experimenting with these over the past few weeks. I do have a slight preference, but I also have a lot of things to say about both of these. So just to recall and remember and refresh my memory, I spent the day wearing both of these on both sides of my arm. I just want to see. These are basically like non-existent at this point. I applied these 7, 8. Yeah, this is almost 9 hours later and they're basically undetectable on my skin now. Fève Délicieuse is the one that came out before. And this is a fragrance that has quite a cult following. This is a fragrance that I was quite surprised by when I first sprayed it, when I first got it. It didn't smell exactly like what I thought it would. It's quite unique actually. It's definitely a tonka bean scent, an interpretation of the tonka bean. It's smoky, it's sweet. It has a lot of cherry in the mid, which I get and I really enjoy. Without screaming cherry, it really smells like a cherry nuance of the tonka bean, and that's why I say this is a great interpretation as a whole of the tonka bean scent. A little bit smoky, a little bit sweet, very powdery. I feel like, and I'm going to consult my notes here, okay, because I wrote a lot of notes. I feel like there's two different ways of interpreting this fragrance, especially for the first couple hours of wear. I think those that don't like it, what they smell is a medicinal baby powder, like a combination of baby powder and a strong medicinal smell. I think if you love this fragrance, what you smell is a smoky, sweet, balsamic tonka. I get a kind of combo of both of those. Like I can kind of see where both of those interpretations would come from. This is a fragrance that I do find quite complex. I do think it kind of changes. I do think it kind of morphs with your skin. The other fragrance I'm comparing this with is the more recently launched Vanilla Diorama. To be honest, they both looked very interesting to me, but this was like this looked like a more easy love to me, and it is so far. This is a very citrusy, warm, spicy vanilla scent. Smells very Christmassy to me, in the same vein, does not smell the same, but in the same vein as Elle by Lolita Lempicka. Very warm, spicy, citrusy vanilla. This is quite a lot more simple to me of a fragrance. Fève Délicieuse is quite a bit more complex to me. It actually took me a couple wears to really appreciate, whereas Vanilla Diorama I kind of liked right away. So for those reasons, I do think Fève Délicieuse is a little bit less of a safe fragrance. Vanilla Diorama is a lot more, I think maybe crowd pleasing and safe of a fragrance, especially if you already know that you like a citrusy, warm, spicy vanilla. I think some of the criticism that has been directed towards this fragrance is that it's not necessarily innovative or new, and I would agree, it's true. It's not a new kind of scent. It's not groundbreaking, but it's very well done. I really like this. I would love to have a full bottle of this fragrance. Fève Délicieuse is a little bit more complex, is a little bit more mature of a scent too. I don't think mature necessarily when I'm smelling it, but I could see how if I were in my early 20s or something, I would maybe find this too mature. If you're in your early 20s and you love this fragrance, that's awesome. But I know that even a lot of fragrances that I love, other people call mature, you know? So when I smell this, I could see how those people would find this to be a little bit mature. Maybe it's because of that baby powder nuance that can come out. It does not smell like baby powder to me, but I totally understand those who say it smells like that. Like I said, I feel like if you don't like it, it's gonna smell like medicinal baby powder. And if you like it, you're gonna get all the beautiful, smoky, sweet, balsamic nuances of the Fève Délicieuse, of the tonka bean. I really like when the cherry comes out in this. That really makes that tonka bean a little bit more gourmand, a little bit more juicy and seductive to me, that cherry note in there. This is more of a dark sort of fragrance. Vanilla Diorama is a little bit more warm and bright and cheerful to me. Fève Délicieuse is a lot more sultry and dark to me. That said, the dry down, like the far dry down, like after a couple hours, is actually quite similar, which was surprising to me because I don't find the openings and the first hour or two of projection to be that similar at all actually. For the Fève Délicieuse, I also get that mint and lavender combo in the opening. I think that's what can be maybe perhaps a little bit off-putting to some people in the opening. Maybe it could smell a little bit medicinal or something something. But it's very interesting, that mint lavender combo. It makes me want to go and sniff again. It adds a lot of intrigue to the fragrance. I think it's a very beautiful fragrance that I've actually grown to love more. I love the mid with the cherry and the smoky tonka. I find that after 20-25 minutes, I get more of that caramel. It gets even more powdery. And all in all, yeah, this is a smokier, darker sort of fragrance, more unique as well. I think Diorama is a little bit more mainstream of a scent, or crowd pleasing of a scent. The cardamom in here is super well blended, which is an important factor for me because sometimes I think cardamom can be a little bit too sharp or jarring. In this, it's just absolutely beautiful. And both of these had a similar wear time. They both lasted around 4 to 5 hours on my skin until they became a skin scent, which for me personally is on the longer lasting side of things, but not the longest lasting either, but certainly not weak. I was originally leaning towards probably getting a full bottle of Vanilla Diorama, but more and more as I wear these decants, I'm like, I'm not so sure anymore. To be honest, Vanilla Diorama feels like the perfect, to me, citrusy, warm, spicy vanilla. It's just perfectly done to me. It's very basic though in that category, and that you might have other fragrances that are similar to that or that fit that bill for you. Both such beautiful fragrances. I could easily see you loving both of them as well. If you are a fragrance enthusiast and you love both of those kinds of fragrances, I do think you will detect differences between both of these, but I definitely think they need to be sampled, especially Fève Délicieuse needs to be sampled. So these are both very cozy scents as well. I did find that the Vanilla Diorama, I think, projected a little bit more than the Fève Délicieuse, but in terms of lasting power, staying power, they were very, very on par with each other. 4 to 5 hours on my skin, which is quite standard for good quality fragrances for me. Longer than that is kind of rare unless I lotion and layer. Vanilla Diorama is a little bit brighter and warmer, projects maybe a tad more. Fève Délicieuse is that smoky tonka with some cherry facets in there. It's a lot more mysterious, it's a lot more complex, it's a little bit more multi-layered, it's more unique, it's a little bit more intriguing of a scent. That said, like I said, I think Vanilla Diorama has done the citrus, warm, spicy vanilla so perfectly well, and because of that, that'll probably be the first one that I add to my collection if and when I eventually add a Dior fragrance from this line to my collection, because I don't have any full bottles from that line yet. But to be honest, Diorama is an easy love for me. Fève Délicieuse is a slightly more acquired taste sort of fragrance for me that I wouldn't necessarily wear as casually or as often as Diorama. So there you have it. Those are my thoughts on those two fragrances. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful to you. Please let me know down below if you have a preference, if you've smelled either one of these. I'd love to know, what do you get from Fève Délicieuse? Do you get that smoky, cherry, gourmand, lactonic, maybe a little bit sort of scent, or do you get baby powder? Because I know some people just get baby powder. I would love to know. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like before leaving, and if you'd like to see some more from me in the future, you can subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell. Thank you so much for watching. Until we see each other again, please take care of yourself. I'll see you very soon.